They tell you to sell cool, trending products such as makeup, phone cases, and apparel. All those products are tiny compared to the massive $15 trillion category of boring products I'll share with you today. If you want to start your first or next e-commerce business this year, sell the right product. Let me show you the 3 boring e-commerce products making millionaires. So if you were to Google or go on TikTok or watch some YouTube videos, the products people would say you should sell are things like fashion and skincare and LED lights and perfume. I'm here to tell you there are far better products that most people would consider boring, in which you can build a way bigger business. So what you're looking for is, first, you want products that fulfill basic needs, not short-term trends. So you want products that are still going to be selling well 5 years from now. The reason for that is because you're going to put all this time and effort into building a business. The last thing you want to do is 6 months from now, nobody cares about that product and you're starting back from scratch. The way I've always taught people how to build businesses is build something that's going to last, not just for your own sanity, but because it's going to make you way wealthier. You're going to put all this time and effort into building a business. You want a business that eventually somebody else can run. That could be somebody you hire that takes over the business while you just reap the cash flow, or it could be somebody that buys your business. And the only reason they're going to buy your business is because the product still sells well. So sell basic needs. Second, look for recurring products or consumable products. In that case, you acquire a customer once, and then they keep buying from you again and again and again without you having to pay to get that customer and get that sale every single time. It makes your life way easier. And third, you want to look for products that have relatively low competition. It doesn't mean there's nobody selling that product, but it means that you're entering a big market with maybe lots of competitors, but you're able to carve out a chunk of that market that you completely own. And you build your whole brand and business around that category. And that's how you win and dominate and are able to sell at premium prices that give you premium profits. So product number 1 is household products. What do you actually buy and use in your kitchen, your bathroom, and the rest of your home? If you were to walk around, pause this video, walk around your house for 2 minutes, look at the stuff that's actually in your cabinets, on your shelves, anywhere else inside of your house. What do you actually buy? What is the stuff you keep buying again and again? Those are all potentially great products you can sell. Things like cleaning products, laundry products, personal care products, even things like toothpaste. Those products may sound boring, but that's the stuff you, me, and millions of other people are buying every single month because we need them. We don't just want them, we need them in our lives. So the way to find these kind of products is go to Amazon. You can Google Amazon best sellers, and you can find these categories on Amazon. It's going to show you by default the top 100 products in each of the categories. Start looking at those products for the best selling ones on all of Amazon. Then start reading the reviews. Look at what people like and don't like. Hopefully you already have experience with some of the products yourselves, so you know from your own experience what could possibly be better about this product, or what is missing that's not out there right now. But by reading reviews, you'll find out what everyone else is thinking as well. Then all you have to do is make the product a little bit better. It doesn't mean you have to go out there and invent something new. It just means that you need to create a version of that product that's better tailored to a certain segment of that audience. An example I always like to give is dude wipes. These were some guys that were in college and they were just going through a bunch of baby wipes to use in the bathroom as grown men. And they decided like, hey, this branding and packaging is super boring. The smell is kind of weird. This has nothing to do with like college dudes, using bathroom wipes. And so they invented the Dude Wipes brand, which was basically just a play on the current baby wipes. All they did was take the same concept. They didn't invent any new product. They just created the brand and they put a different scent, different packaging, different language around the product. And all of a sudden today, they're a multi-$100 million brand. So it doesn't mean you have to have a big research team or anything like that. Look at what's selling well right now. Find out what people like and don't like about the products and create something slightly better, even if it's just the same exact product, but better tailored to a certain segment of that audience. Product number 2, pets. As an example, somebody that took our training back in the day, AJ Patel, was able to sell his brand Zesty Paws for $600 million in the pet category. And this wasn't just a pandemic thing. This wasn't just, everyone's stuck at home, so they're all buying dogs. This category is growing like crazy and will be for the foreseeable future. Societal trends, people want to have more pets. Maybe they're having less kids. There was a survey done, and 34% of people age 18 to 34 plan to get a pet, as compared to 28% just a couple years ago. This was a very recent survey, and the last survey was 2022. So this is 2025. That category is still growing. Morgan Stanley said that growth in the pet market outpaces nearly all retail segments and is one of the largest rates of return on any retail sector. So the categories to look at in pets are, first, premium foods. We have a Bernedoodle, and do we spend a lot of money on food for that dog? It's all special food that we order, that we keep in our freezer. And so food items are huge. Now, you may not want to start with something heavier like that, but you can start with something smaller, such as snacks and treats. And we also buy hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of these things every single month for our dog. And we're not abnormal like this. A lot of people are doing this. The average amount somebody spends on a dog is like $1,500 a year just on food and supplements and everything else. And so premium foods and snacks is a great way to go. Wellness products, such as supplements and grooming products for dogs primarily. Personalization, you can get into beds and that sort of thing. And then tech and GPS trackers. But I would really, even though those are the biggest categories for our purposes, because you only really need one product. You don't need to sell 52 different pet products. I would stick with premium foods and snacks, and then wellness products such as supplements or grooming products such as shampoos, that sort of thing. Those products are consumable. People use them all the time, and they're going to be lighter and smaller and have less technology involved than some of the other products you could possibly sell. Third product is food. Food and beverage market is currently $9 trillion. It's expected to reach up to $15 trillion by 2034. To me, this is the most underrated e-commerce category on the planet. There's a guy named Mark Sisson who built his brand writing blog posts on primal living, doing workouts out in the woods, eating a more healthy diet. He built this personal brand doing that stuff. The way he really made all his money, though, is he built a brand of sauces, ranch dressing, barbecue dressing. We use all of this sort of stuff. He built a brand called Primal Kitchen, which he sold for $200 million. After years of blogging and everything, the way he really made his money was in consumer brands, selling a food product. Poppi just exited this past year. It's a prebiotic soda brand for $2 billion. They sold that brand to Pepsi. Another one, a popcorn brand, Lesser Evil, sold for $750 million to the Hershey Company. The food category is absolutely huge. And there's reasons why it's such an interesting category. When you run ads for your business, which is a way I recommend you start to scale your sales, Facebook is sort of cautious around supplements and that kind of stuff, especially weight loss stuff, because they've had so many people that have made all kinds of egregious claims and that sort of thing for selling supplements, pills in a bottle. You come out there with a food product for a similar kind of purpose, you're all of a sudden blessed by Facebook and all these other platforms because it's so new. People haven't beat that category up so much like some others. So selling food products is absolutely huge. One category you can look at is functional foods and beverages, scenes such as gut health, immunity products, protein products. Those things are absolutely huge. Also, or anything organic and natural. I mean, that's the long-term trend, is taking these food products that are complete garbage. There's a lot of people that have done it in the candy space. There's all these sweetened candies we've had for 50 plus years. Some people are coming in and creating better versions of those, such as the company Smart Sweets, who's been absolutely crushing it. They created better versions of these candies that people know and love, but it's not just completely chemicals. So anything you can take a boring old product, make organic and natural, is tapping into the long-term trend of food and beverage. Also, convenient comfort foods. So for example, Goodles, which sells noodles and other things in little containers, they're doing over $100 million in sales. They took this boring, stale category and then created a better version of it, more updated branding, more updated ingredients, and they're absolutely crushing it. So what you want to look for are products that are light and small, because There's a way you can get in that category and go retail first, brick and mortar retailers, but you don't want to start there. So you want something light and small, which means you can sell it online first. Things such as protein bars and snack products. Great example here is Chomps. They sell grass-fed beef jerky sticks, which I eat all the time. They're doing over $500 million in sales. So if I was starting a new e-commerce business today, I'd be looking at the food and beverage category, even though I already own one. I own a business now that's doing 50 plus million a year. It's a coffee company. If I was starting again, I'd be looking at a food or snack product because that category is absolutely insane. Because you can build this business that's a good, healthy company online, but you have the potential to scale that thing to hundreds of millions of dollars in the food and beverage category. So forget all those short-term fad sort of products. Don't listen to the people hustling stuff on TikTok. These categories are ones that are going to be around for a long period of time, have less competition because people aren't thinking about them because they're less exciting. And this is how you can build a 7, 8, or 9-figure business and net worth. So right now, watch this video next to get a 4-step process to scale an e-commerce business that I've used to turn a $17,000 a month brand into a $50 million a year empire.